teachers need
Recording
to
in
constantly
progress.
try to help students overcome. So let me write that on the board. Negative pressures. And for item number 1, I'll write the fear of appearing stupid. Okay. Can you think of other factors that keep students from asking questions?
Well, maybe this is another aspect of feeling stupid, but I think class size counts. This is a small class and we all know each other. I don't feel as intimidated asking a question in front of a small group of people I trust.
You know, I can see why Tony might think class size is relevant to feeling stupid, but, I think there's more to it than that. I mean, well, when you ask a question in one of the large lecture halls, sometimes you have to repeat it several times 'cause the professor can't hear you, and, well, that is embarrassing.
Yeah, and sometimes a question is asked that the professor heard, but the students in the back of the class couldn't hear, and so the professor's answer is meaningless.
Okay. So, in other words, large class size discourages meaningful dialogue, both in terms of the room size and the number of students. I'm going to write this as large class size pressure. Lisa.
It's not just large class sizes that make one feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it's more difficult to ask a question, just because everyone knows everyone else. But lost in the crowd, it might, in fact, be easier to talk.
Okay, I can see that. So, let me erase large. There, class size pressure. Anything more to add?
Time pressure.
Time pressure? Can you expand on that?
Professor Clarkson.
Professor Clarkson? I seem to have missed the joke.
Professor Clarkson is sort of the epitome of time pressure.
Yeah, he dashes through his lectures like, well, as if he were trying to cram the entire field of child development into one class session.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't even stop to breathe. I feel intimidated about stopping his lecture with a mere question.
Okay, I think we have 2 negative pressures going on here. Time pressure, as Lisa said, and personality. A teacher's personality seems to deter students from asking questions.
It's not exactly personality. I mean, Professor Clarkson is a really nice man and a good lecturer.
Okay, but isn't it the signal he sends of being in a hurry that keeps you from asking questions?
Yes, but, well, when someone does get the courage to ask Professor Clarkson a question, he never gives the impression that his time is being wasted. I think the type of teacher personality that keeps students from asking questions is, well, sometimes a teacher makes a sarcastic joke at the student's expense.
Okay, so you do agree that personality may keep students from asking questions, even though you don't think it applies to Professor Clarkson. So, personality. Does anyone have any more to add? No? Okay, so now I'd like you to split into groups of 3. In your groups, I'd like you to discuss possible ways teachers can promote question asking in the classroom. Now, keep in mind the negative pressures we've discussed. Oh, and by the way, there are other pressures that were not mentioned, but I think you'll come up with them in your discussions. I'll ask you to share your thoughts in, say, 20 minutes.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 12. What is the discussion mainly about? 13. Why does the professor say this?
Did they know it all? And consequently, was I wasting my time and theirs? Were they so lost that they found it impossible to ask questions? Was I such a great lecturer that they understood everything perfectly?
"14. Listen again to part of the discussion. Then answer the question.
Well, maybe this is another aspect of feeling stupid, but I think class size counts. This is a small class and we all know each other. I don't feel as intimidated asking a question in front of a small group of people I trust.
You know, I can see why Tony might think class size is relevant to feeling stupid, but, I think there's more to it than that. I mean, well, when you ask a question in one of the large lecture halls, sometimes you have to repeat it several times 'cause the professor can't hear you, and, well, that is embarrassing.
What can be inferred about the students? "15. Why does Lisa mention Professor Clarkson? 16. In the discussion, the professor elicits different reasons why students don't ask questions. Indicate whether each of the following is one of the discussed fears. "17. Listen again to part of the discussion. Then answer the question.
In your groups, I'd like you to discuss possible ways teachers can promote question asking in the classroom. Now, keep in mind the negative pressures we've discussed. Oh, and by the way, there are other pressures that were not mentioned, but I think you'll come up with them in your discussions.
Why does the professor say this?
By the way, there are other pressures that were not mentioned.
That's it. So guys, before we continue, we'll take attendance. Niño Adriano Arias,
Present.
Adriano Sancho, Alfredo, André, Anthony,
Here, teacher.
Ashley,
Here.
Justin, Karen,
Here.
Natasha,
Present.
Sebastián, Sofía Castro, Sofía Méndez, Villena.
Present, teacher.
Okay, very well. So let's check the answers. Adri Arias, question 12. What is the discussion mainly about?
The factors that discourage students from asking questions.
That's correct.
B.
Thank you. Anthony, why does the professor say this?
He's telling the students the kinds of questions the students should ask themselves.
Okay, so in this case, the answer is A. Answer A. Okay, let's see. Karen, do you have 14? What is inferred about the students?
C.
It is B. Can you read B?
They have different reasons for considering class size as a negative pressure.
Very good. Ashley, number 15. Why does Lisa mention Professor Clarkson?
To give an example of time pressure.
That is correct. Okay, let's scroll down. So part 16. So let's start with Adri. You can read A and you can tell me yes or no.
Okay. Fear
Mami, la
of
buscan.
asking too many questions. Yes.
I would say
Sí.
no. They don't mention too many questions.
Yes.
¿Para quién?
They are fears
Muchas
to
gracias.
Mm-hmm.
asking questions.
But but they don't talk about like asking too many questions. Maybe they are feared or they are scared. Sorry, they are scared about like interrupting the teacher or feeling dumb or something, but not like the number of questions. They don't mention that as a reason in the audio. Okay. In Karen, B.
17.
In part 16,
Oh,
you can read
okay.
sentence B and tell me if it's yes or no.
No.
It is yes.
Yes.
Mhm. Yes, like they are scared of feeling stupid when they ask something. And Ashley, see?
Fear of being a victim of a joke. No.
Yes.
I
Yes, because they say like sometimes some teachers make fun of a student in order to make a joke, right? Okay, and let's see. Anthony?
Fear of making a mistake. I don't hear that one, so I would say no.
That's correct. It is a no. And Adri?
Fear of wasting a professor's time. No.
The one say yes. Okay. And let's check 17.
I will not have a fear of that.
But it's not your opinion. It's based on the audio. Yes, it's how the students feel in the audio, not about how you feel.
Oh, yes, but I don't know. I feel that is stupid. But...
Yeah, well, so yeah, it has to be based on the audio, right? So it doesn't matter. And Karen, what is the answer of 17?
Okay. To inform the students that they have not done a good job of pleasing the pressures.
And so the answer is D,
D.
the last one. Okay. Do we have any questions?
no.
Okay, very well. So let's move on. Practice number 2. Okay, so we're going to continue practicing some sentences using 2 people and 2 actions in the same sentence. Okay. Ashley, can you read here the negative?
The negative form is object plus not plus to plus infinitive. She advised me not to sell my house.
Okay, so we're going to read these sentences in negative form. So when you want to make a negative sentence, you're going to say not to. She advised me not to sell my house. I told him not to go, etc. So it's always not to. Okay? So you can take a photo here, and we're going to read the sentences in negative form. Okay? We're going to change them from positive to negative. Ready?
Yes.
Hello,
how are you?
Hi, pretty fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, let me see.
My boss told her to come early on Monday. My boss told her not to.
told her.
Monday.
The first one, don't told her. Ah, no, es el objeto más not más to más infinite.
Is my boss told her not to come early on Monday.
Mhm.
My friend asked me to invite her to lunch. My friend asked me not to invite her to lunch.
The next one, my friends asked me not to invite her. The next one is Tom wanted his sister not to help him.
Yes.
I'm writing it.
I expected my brother to come late. I expected my brother not to come late tonight.
Please remind me not to buy the newspaper tomorrow morning.
Please tell him not to eat the piece of cakes in the fridge.
The next one, Mary persuaded us not to play soccer on the street.
Our mother advised us not to watch that show.
She asked her friends not to visit her next weekend.
We showed them how not to cook that meat. Good.
I think it's a lot easier, right?
Yes. It's a easier practice.
Recording in progress. Early on Monday.
Karen?
I not told her, sorry.
It's okay. The order was fine. Told her not.
My friend asked me not to invite her to lunch.
Thank you, Natasha.
Tom, wait. Okay, Tom wanted his sister not to help him with his homework.
Bibi, number 4.
I expect my brother not to come late tonight.
Pronunciation, I.
Expected.
Very good. Adriana?
Please remind me not to buy the newspaper tomorrow morning.
Anthony?
Please tell him not to eat the piece of cake in the fridge.
Karen?
Mary persuaded us not to play soccer on the street.
Natasha?
Our mother advised us not to watch that show.
Bibi?
She asked her friends not to visit her next weekend.
And Ashley?
I was muted, sorry.
Don't worry.
We show them how not to cook the meat. Good.
Very good. Do you have any questions in this practice?
No, teacher.
Okay, so let's go to the application. So guys, you can go to topics for conversation and look for this image. It is called the lecture hall. It is unit 35. And give me a second to correct some mistakes that appear here. Good luck. I'm going to write the structure that you need to follow for this application. So the structure is to use two people and two verbs in the same question or in the same answer. Okay. So for example, person plus verb plus person, well, a verb from the list.
Person, verb.
So this is the order that you need to follow to create your sentences. So you need to mention, sorry?
No, Karen.
I'm trying to erase it.
Yeah, so this is the idea. You're going to mention two people and two actions in the same sentence. For example, did the teacher ask the students to open their books? Or my mother told me to study. Okay, so this is the order that you need to follow for every question. Okay, so you can take a photo. Yes.
Is questions.
Questions and answers. Yes. It's an application. So you can ask like, what did the Spanish teacher tell the students to repeat? And she told them to repeat the word cómodo or whatever, right? So yes, questions and answers. Ready with the photo?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay. What did the teacher tell to the class?
What did the teacher what?
Tell to the class.
Okay, the teacher tell us about how
Told
we
them.
what do you say?
Told them.
Told them. Okay. Well, not with me. Okay, told them how they can explain Spanish. How they can talk in Spanish or talk Spanish.
Yes.
The next one is what does the teacher ask them?
The teacher asked them to give him her homeworks. What do how the students help his new classmate?
How what do you say?
how the students help his new classmate.
Oh, okay. The student had the new classmates very well.
No, how the students help his new classmate. ¿Cómo?
Yeah, right.
No, ¿cómo los estudiantes le ayudaron a su compañero nuevo?
Le ayudaron muy bien. They helped them explaining how the school was or how the school can working well.
Okay.
Okay, what the man demand the students?
What the man what?
What the man, or well, what the man with the brain with the, I don't know what is this name, with the school.
Brain.
Okay, with the school, cráneo. What the
Brain.
what does
Brain.
brain es cerebro, pero school.
No, crane.
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 Ah, okay. Well, how does the man with the crane demand or not? No. Okay, demand the students about their homework.
Okay. The man to the students to learn the literature of Shakespeare.
To learn the what, sorry?
Literature.
Okay, literature.
Literature of Shakespeare.
Okay. Let's do another question.
What did the teacher choose to explain?
But you're not following with the instruction. What did the teacher?
What the teacher choose? No sé.
Maybe who instead of what.
Who the teacher choose?
Who? Help.
Who does?
Or who does or who did the
does
teacher?
the teacher choose? To explain the next topic.
What teacher?
Who the teacher choose to?
Who did, right? Who did the teacher?
Who did the teacher choose to explain the next topic?
Okay, the teacher. The question is what or who?
Who? Because yes, it is, the answer is another person, right? Who did the teacher choose to explain the next lesson?
Okay, the teacher choose explain the.
So let's look at the structure that we have here. The teacher.
The teacher choose.
Help. Chose.
Chose. Okay. The teacher chose the man with the teacher green.
With the
green teacher. To explain. How he can make a new house or make the.
But that was. But you're getting out of the topic, right? The idea is who can explain the new lesson. So you answer with the same. The teacher chose the man in green to explain the new lesson.
The new lesson, okay.
Okay, I'm David. Let's ask another one.
Okay. What did the man with blue t-shirt tell the other man with
Tell
tell the yellow man
the help.
the yellow man
But if you say the yellow man, it's like a Simpson, right? You can say the man in yellow.
the man in yellow teacher, please moment because we okay. What did the man with blue tell
The man in blue.
in blue tell at the man with yellow to or what is it about the class.
But after two, you need a verb. What did the man in green tell the man in yellow to? To do or to study.
To studying about the new lesson. Oh,
But if you say the new lesson, that's like the answer, right?
okay, tell how
You can say what did the man in blue tell the man in yellow to study?
to study. Okay, teacher, it's because I was trying to translate it.
Yeah, it's okay. Try not to translate it. Try just to follow the instruction. That's easier.
Okay.
So Adri, could you answer?
He tell him to.
So
He tell him.
help.
Told him. He told him to go to the front class.
But the question was, what did he tell him to study?
Yes. He told him to study math.
Yes. Very good. Let's go back.
Recording in progress.
Okay,
Karen.
me, right?
Sorry.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, why did the teacher help the students? Why did the teacher help the students to ask something to the superior?
The supervisor, maybe.
Yeah, supervisor.
Ashley?
Sorry. Again, please.
Okay, why did the teacher help the students to ask something to the supervisor?
He helped them because they are afraid for him. To him.
Afraid? Help?
Of him.
Afraid of him.
Afraid of him.
Because they are afraid.
Because they are afraid of him. Okay. So Ashley, you can ask another question.
Oh my God.
You can do it.
It's because I need two persons. So, I was thinking about art all the are all the students um, get the notes that the teacher is grading.
But you're not following this structure in that question. This application is more like for giving orders or invitations. Like I invite you to go to a bar. The teacher permits the students to use their phones. So it's like permissions, instructions. Yes.
Teacher, sorry, what is the name of this topic?
I don't know if it has a name. Yeah, it only says application one. I don't have like the name of the.
Because I don't
Okay.
have clearly this topic.
Yeah, it's okay. We're going to continue practicing, so you can pay attention to the structures, okay, that we're using.
Okay.
I can say, is the teacher permit the students?
Is the teacher
Permit?
help?
ing.
Permitting.
Okay, is the teacher permitting the students to, I can say to write on the
To
board?
write. Yes. Anthony, answer?
Okay. Yes, just for today, he's permitting them to write on the board.
Very good. It's Anthony. You can ask Natasha.
Okay, who tell the students to pay more attention to the teacher?
Okay, one more time. Who?
Who tell the students?
Help?
Told.
You can say
tells.
Told or tells.
Who tells in that case? Who
In present
tells?
tense.
Who tells the students to pay more attention to the teacher?
Okay, the supervisor or teacher, how can I say, like the director, I don't know.
The principal.
Yeah. The principal of the school told the teachers to tells the students to pay attention to the teacher.
Okay. Nat, you can ask Adriana.
When will the students get when will the students get the teachers to give them the grades, their grades?
Yes. Adri?
Me, teacher?
Adriana.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. So, Adriana, are you there to answer?
Yes, I have some problems with the audio.
It's okay. Don't worry. So, Nati, could you repeat the question?
Yes. When will the students get the teachers to give them their grades?
They will receive their grades from the teacher.
So can you answer this in the same structure? They will?
They will receive the grades.
Help? They will get?
They
Póngase
will get
café.
their grades
Brosa de
from the
café.
teacher.
But we need to follow the same structure that you have here in blue. They will get the teachers to give them their grades?
They will the teachers to give them grades.
One more time. Listen to me. They will get the teachers.
Okay, they will get the teachers
Brosa de
give
café,
them
mami,
their
se lo
grades
cierro.
to.
And they will get the teachers to give them their grades?
They will get the teachers gave them their grades to the end of the course.
You can say at the end of the course. Okay, and Adriana, you can ask Liliana.
What will the teacher ask to the students?
Let's use the structure, right? What will the teacher?
Ask the students to present.
Vivi.
To present.
To present.
To present.
What did the teacher? What will the teacher ask the students to present? Okay, the teacher will ask them to present about the new topic.
Very good. And Vivi, you can ask Karen one more question.
Okay. What does the man with the crane demand the students to do in the class?
Can you repeat the first part, please? Sorry.
What does the man with the crane or with the school?
The school.
The school demand the students to do in the class.
Karen.
Okay. He demanded in past, right?
He demanded.
He demanded them not to do noise.
Not to?
Not to
Help.
not to
Make noise.
okay, not to make noise because the supervisor is near from the class.
The supervisor is
Near the class, sorry.
Near the class. Very good. Okay, do we have any questions about this topic so far?
Practice more.
Yes, I will see if I can find it on the grammar book so you can take a look at it.
Teacher, but in what book or where I can find about this topic, because the book don't talk about that.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. So I will take a look, and when I find it, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, but you study this topic in module 13, okay?
Yes, I remember a little, teacher, but...
Yes, so it is lesson 13 on the grammar book. I found it. So lesson 13, it's page 130. All that unit is about this exercise. Yes, so lesson 13 on the grammar book.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. And yeah, so you can review it there. Okay, so let's take a photo here, and we're going to talk about yesterday's video in first. Okay, but I will send you to trios actually, to groups of three, so you can help each other.
Oh, about the wasteland.
Yes, about the wasteland. About the wasteland.
Oh, teacher, I can't. Okay.
The answers yesterday on the WhatsApp group.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Did
you send it yesterday in the group? The answer?
What?
Did you send the answer to that group?
No.
Okay.
No, what we are saying is that we are not in our house in our houses. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have like the answers of this thing. But
Okay.
yeah. By any chance, do you think you can maybe share the screen with the questions? Just with the question.
Only the question. Well, the answer I don't have it, but the question is this: can you see it?
But it's because I'm with my cell phone. Maybe you have the answers that we saw yesterday.
Give me a second. I'm trying to. Wait a second. Um. Um. Well, you don't have the answers, maybe. Well, I remember some
I
things, but
have it a little, but I don't know because. Well,
yeah.
we can try because I think I need to see it again.
Yeah, we can try from the things that we remember. So,
Okay.
well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what kind? Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. The first one: what kind of people run the West Lines in China? What was their attitude and that of down officials towards the reporters? I wrote. Let me see. Okay, I wrote to be green can channel it. Channel it.
To be what?
To be green can channel it. El canal que ellos tenían, to be channel it. I don't know what did you wrote. What kind of people run?
Yeah, like the question is about like the who were in charge of this
The poor people. Okay, let me see. Okay, well, I don't know why I don't have it, but
yeah.
I remember the poor people or the people was wrong the channel was attitude. The poor people that they wanted money or they want to win money.
No. Actually, the people who run the wasteland were the gangsters. It's like a do you know what gangsters is? No.
No.
Well, gangsters is like a, how can I say it? How can I explain it? Like a group of kind of like mafiosos or things like that, like I will okay, I will look it in search it to give you like a better concept because I'm not sure how to explain that. Um okay, they are like criminals that do things together. It's like a group of people, um of criminals, okay.
Okay.
So the people who run the wasteland were gangsters, and the attitude that they had was that they didn't want to be recorded. So these people was there trying like to um como record them, right? And they didn't want to. And well, also the government and or the officials, the town officials, didn't do anything about this situation. They didn't allow the reporters to like to go and yeah, that's the answer. Okay, let's see. What materials are extracted from electronic devices? Are all these substances considered harmful? Explain. I don't know if
Yeah,
got
I
it.
think let me see.
Well,
Chemical
we are with Andres
substances
now.
to extract the value things that the company have.
Yeah.
And the materials, let me see if if I have the answer.
Andre, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Video. Okay. Let me see. Number 2. And try to open it. Okay. Number 2. Okay. Mercury, lead, gold, silver, chromium, chloride, aluminum, and polymer. This is all the substance that they have.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, what methods are being used?
But you,
Mhm.
yeah, you miss the question in the number 2. Are all these substances considered harmful?
Um,
The second part of the question.
ah, todas las que se consideran harmful. Let me see. The hands were burning, they chemicals, the value things that the company have. I don't wrote yes or not.
Well, they are harmful. Yes, they are harmful because their toxicity, yeah, their toxicity, and these materials are, well, can cause different diseases like cancer, respiratory diseases, blood diseases, and they also cause lots of pollution.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the right answer. Yeah. Andre, can you participate, or are you like going home or something, or do you want to participate?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No worries.
Okay, so
Number 3.
what methods are being used to extract the substances from the electronic devices, Andre?
Well, something that I could see was like something that they burn, and these things that they burn, like they creates like a smoke, a red smoke. That smoke uh, contaminate all the environment. That method is dangerous for the environment. The method that they use to extract some substance.
Yeah, they.
But I don't really know what is the method. But I could see that they use like I don't know how to say it in English this word. It's like como un estanque.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tank is like tank.
Yeah,
It could be, but tank is used when you pull something with water. But this is another kind of tank. But I don't know, and they use that to burn something in there. But I don't know if they use
Pond.
like another something.
Pond. Like pond.
Like what?
Pond. Estanque, pond.
Estanque.
Ajá, pond.
Yeah, but estanque, me dijo.
Pond is estanque. But
Yeah,
it's
but
like
it's not a estanque. It's not como un estanque. I don't know the real name in Spanish either.
Yeah, well,
but that you don't understand.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, well, it's yeah, what you're saying is right. They burn things, but it's like I don't know how to pronounce it. This word, medieval method is.
Oh yeah, medieval methods. Yeah.
They also use a acid. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They use acid to extract. Well, in that tank or all that thing, they use like an acid to extract the other substances. But meanwhile, while that process is happening, these things, well, I can say como que se despide o como que hecho humo, pero no sé cómo decir la palabra.
Bueno, pero lo entendemos.
Yeah, this acid cause that the things get dissolved and create a smoke. That smoke is really dangerous for the environment. That's why there are a lot of, well, in the video says that there is a lot of kids that has a lot of lead in his veins.
Yeah, that's right.
because of that method.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's see. Vera, you can maybe read the other question if you want.
Okay, number 4. What has happened to the place where the wasteland is located? Number 4. Let me see. What has happened to the place where the land is located?
Well, it's like a
I
biohazard.
Yeah, right. The value of the thing that the company have, right?
No. It's like
Well, the
about the environment, yeah, and
I can hear
for
you
example,
clearly.
the water in that place isn't drinkable or isn't useful. I don't know.
Used.
Yeah, so there are some other things like that. I don't know if you remember some others.
No, I don't remember exactly about that. Maybe.
You, Andre? Well, I remember that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that something that I could hear, hear. I know I could have heard. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do
No.
that in past, but I could hear.
Yeah, you
Something
yeah,
I
you could
could hear. They could hear is that the environment, the place that surrounds the wasteland is completely polluted. The water that is there is polluted. The air. The people who live there is well, they have a serious problems in his health, and they have burns and harms and problems with when they try to breathe and all those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. That's
The
right.
hands was hurt,
Burned
Mm-hmm.
and burned.
burn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 5. Who are the people working at this wasteland? Knowing the consequences working there has. Okay, knowing the consequences working there has. Why do they stay?
Number 5.
Well, the people who live there is people that really need money, and they found like a business in extracting those substances because they can extract some material like gold. One of the material that they can extract from those e-trash, because that's the name of those things, right? E-trash, like the previous says. And
Yeah.
so when do you remember the interview that they had with the reporters that they say the reporters told them that why they do that, and they say that because the money is good.
They won $8 a day.
Yeah. Per day.
Yeah. Yeah, in that place in Hong Kong is a lot of well, it's kind of a lot of money because of that people that don't have nothing to.
Yeah, I mean for them it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's really cheap. Hong Kong is really cheap in some places.
But well, I'm not sure, but I was thinking that $8 is like $1 here, but maybe in different places of there, $8 is a lot of money.
Yeah, because the dollar is different in some countries. The value of the dollar is different in some countries.
Yeah.
But actually, the people that work there, who live there, are poor people, so they don't have more things to do and more methods to earn money. So they are forced to do that activity.
Okay, the next one. And
Yes, can you continue? I'll be back in a second, please.
okay, what is execute? Recycling, what does its CEO, Brandon Richer, promise the public regarding the handling of their waste? Number 6, they export the recycling to another place. CEO is the manager of the company.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and the executive recycling is the company that which take the e-trash and take that to Hong Kong to be supposedly recycled. But and the CEO.
Number one.
Recording in progress.
Yes.
Okay, the people running this place were gangsters, and they didn't want to be recorded by these people who went there to make the interview, and the town officials, they didn't do anything about this situation.
Perfect. In other areas, what materials are extracted from electronic devices? Are these substances harmful?
The materials that are extracted from the electronic devices are cobalt, gold, silver, aluminum, and other ones that are considered harmful because they can produce cancer in the skin or problems to breathe.
Very good. And let's see who's next. Viviana, what methods are used to extract these substances?
What methods? Okay, they use mercury lead. What methods or?
Yes. How do they obtain these materials?
Okay.
What do they do?
Okay. Okay, they obtain fire or acid, and they causes in the hand that the hands were burnt.
So can you repeat that? Sorry, I didn't understand your idea. And it causes?
Okay, the materials that they use or they obtain was about acid, and their hands were burned.
Burnt. Okay.
It causes about the pollution.
And it causes?
Causes pollution.
Causes pollution. Okay. In cutting, what has happened to this place? What can you tell me? What about the water, the air, etc.?
Sure, I think she's not here.
She got disconnected. Oh, yeah, you're right. So Ashley, can you tell me about it?
Okay.
No, you are next on the list anyway, so.
The number?
4.
4. Okay. I can say that in that place, the people can drink the water, and also the air is hard to breathe. And people are suffering from cancer and other And others diseases, this.
Other diseases.
And other diseases.
Okay. Very well. Let's have Andre. Who are the people working there and why do they stay knowing the consequences?
Well, I'm not pretty sure, but I heard something that related to gangsters.
Okay, so
I
the
don't know.
gangsters are like the ones in charge, but who are the workers? That's the question. Who works there? Who is?
Their work
risk?
families, they need the money, and they know the consequences, but they stay there because of the money. Because well, I saw something that I can't remember. It is when the reporter interviewed some people who works there, and he asked them why they do that, and they answered that because of the money.
Yes, exactly. Very good. So let's go back to Natasha. What is executive recycling? Brandon Richter, what did they promise the public?
Okay, the Executive Recycling is a company that was created to recycle of kind of electronic waste. So they promised the public to recycle. I don't know how, well.
Recycle.
To recycle all these things to be proper, to have a proper have a proper recycle. Yes, in the U.S. So yeah, that was what they promised to the people.
Okay, very good. And Ari, what did 60 Minutes find out by following containers from executive recycling to other places?
They found out that these containers was sold to...
These containers?
Was sold.
Help? Containers is plural, so containers were sold.
Okay, containers were sold to Chinese people. They followed the containers to China that was bought by gangsters that have it in a clandestine space where poor people managing the waste.
Where people?
Managing the waste.
Help? Manage.
Waste.
Manage the waste.
Manage the waste.
Okay, thank you. And Viviana, what did Richter say when he was confronted with information, and what did his lawyer say later on?
Let me see, teacher. Teacher, I'm not sure, but I wrote about the executive recycling was not alone, and he reported about American companies.
Okay, so the question is, when the reporter talked to Mr. Richter and presented him the evidence, how did Mr. Richter react? Mr. Richter is the owner of this company, so how did he react when the reporter accused him of this crime, guys? Help? Maybe Ashley, can you tell us about
it? Number 6.
Number 8. Yes, how did Mr. Richter react when he was confronted?
So he knew what was happening. And also he knew that the containers are sent without the company's permission.
Well, so first he said that he didn't know, right?
Yeah.
He said, like, I don't know anything about it. And then when the reporter presented the information to him, he said, oh, but we didn't give permission to do this. Yeah, so he was like denying that he did it, basically.
Was lying.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and actually, what is the name of the company?
A.
Oh my god, teacher, your crew.
Okay, executive.
Yes.
Ah, veo. Los dejé callados. Veo. Okay,
Let me look for the reactions. There. Congratulations. You already learned the pronunciation. Okay.
Thank you,
And,
thank you.
and the last one, Nati, can you tell us answer number 9? What did the Government Accountability Office do, and what else did they find out about executive recycling?
Well, the Government Accountability Office pretended to be buyers. So the company, they caught the company because they pretended to be buyers. They also found out that other companies, about 82 companies were also doing this.
Okay, very good. 42 companies. Okay, well, very good. So, any questions about the video so far? Anything that you didn't understand or?
I'm going to see it again.
Yes, maybe if you find it, because these videos I usually don't find them on YouTube. I don't know what Intensa does to get these videos, but they usually don't appear like normally on YouTube. But if you find them, maybe you can share the link with
Yeah,
your
we have
classmates.
it.
Okay, makes sense. And okay, that's fine. So guys, we're going to watch another video. This one is a pep talk about video games and their benefits. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these questions. So these are the questions that we're going to answer after we watch the video. Anthony, can you read number 1?
Okay. As a brain scientist, what did Daphne Bavelier?
No, that's a name, so I'm not sure. I would say Bavelier, maybe.
Bavelier. Okay, Daphne Bavelier, interesting.
Let's say interested in.
Interesting.
Thank you. Andre, number 2.
According to the common belief, who plays video game most? Sure, I don't know, but I think I didn't see this video.
No, we're going to.
All right.
Yes, we're taking a look at the questions and then we're going to watch it.
All right.
And Natasha, number 3.
Yeah, sorry. However, what is the average age of a gamer?
Thank you. Adri Arias, number 4.
According to Activision statistics, how much had the Black Ops game been played a month after its release?
Thank you. And to Viviana.
What does that? Number 5, teacher?
Yes, please.
Okay, what does she mention about playing these kinds of video games for healthy periods of time?
Thank you. Ashley.
What does media usually project about video games that frightens parents?
Let's repeat media.
Media.
Anthony?
What positive aspects does she mention about video games?
Andre?
What are other advantages mentioned?
Natasha?
How is the brain of a gamer affected?
And Adri?
What is the future of all this investigation?
Very well. Do we have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, so we're going to watch the video so you can take down notes to answer those questions at the end. Okay? I will project it again, don't worry.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
looking for the video. Yes. This one, your brain on video games. It's a bit long, so you can grab something to eat if you want to. It's like 17 minutes, but it's interesting. Let me put it over here. And you're ready to start.
Okay.
I'm a brain scientist, and as a brain scientist, I'm actually interested in how the brain learns. And I'm especially interested in the possibility of making our brains smarter, better, and faster. This is in this context I'm going to tell you about video games. When we say video game, most of you think about children. It's true, 90% of children do play video games. But let's be frank. When the kids are in bed, who is in front of the PlayStation? Most of you. The average age of a gamer is 33 years old, not 8 years old. And in fact, if we look at the projected demographics of video game play, the video game players of tomorrow are older adults. So video games is pervasive throughout our society. It is clearly here to stay. It has an amazing impact on our everyday life. Consider these statistics released by Activision. After 1 month of release of the game Call of Duty Black Ops, it had been played for 68,000 years worldwide, right? Would any of you complain if this was a case about doing linear algebra? So what we're asking in the lab is how can we leverage that power? Now I want to step back a bit. I know most of you have had the experience of coming back home and finding your kids playing these kind of games. The name of the game is to get after your enemy, zombie, bad guys before they get to you, right? And I'm almost sure most of you have thought, oh, come on, can't you do something more intelligent than shooting at zombies? I'd like you to put this kind of knee-jerk reaction in the context of what you would have thought if you had found your girl playing Sudoku or your boy reading Shakespeare, right? Most parents would find that great. Well, I'm not going to tell you that playing video games days in and days out is actually good for your health. It's not, and binging is never good. But I'm going to argue that in reasonable doses, actually the very game I showed you at the beginning, those action-packed shooter games, have quite powerful effects and positive effects on many different aspects of our behavior. There's not 1 week that goes without some major headlines in the media about whether video games are good or bad for you, right? You're all bombarded with that. I'd like to put this kind of Friday night bar discussion aside and get you to actually step into the lab. What we do in the lab is actually measure directly in a quantitative fashion what is the impact of video games on the brain. And so I'm going to take a few examples from our work. One first saying that I'm sure you all have heard is the fact that too much screen time makes your eyesight worse. That's a statement about vision. There may be vision scientists among you. We actually know how to test that statement. We can step into the lab and measure how good your vision is. Well, guess what? People that don't play a lot of action games, that don't actually spend a lot of time in front of screens, have normal, or what we call corrected to normal vision. That's okay. The issue is what happens with these guys that actually indulge into playing video games like 5 hours per week, 10 hours per week, 15 hours per week. By that statement, their vision should be really bad, right? Guess what? Their vision is really, really good. It's better than those that don't play. And it's better in two different ways. The first way is that they're actually able to resolve small detail in the context of clutter. So that means being able to read the fine print on prescription rather than using magnifier glasses. You can actually do it with just your eyesight. The other way that they are better is actually being able to resolve different levels of gray. Imagine you're driving in the fog. That makes a difference between seeing the car in front of you and avoiding the accident or getting into an accident. So we're actually leveraging that work to develop games for patients with low vision and to have an impact on retraining their brain to see better. Clearly, when it comes to action video games, screen time doesn't make your eyesight worse. Another saying that I'm sure you have all heard around: video games lead to attention problem and greater distractibility. Okay, we know how to measure attention in the lab. I'm actually going to give you an example of how we do so. I'm going to ask you to participate, so you're going to have to actually play the game with me. I'm going to show you colored words. I want you to shout out the color of the ink, right? So this is the first example. Orange, good. Green, red, yellow, red, yellow, green. You got my point, right? You're getting better, but it's hard. Why is it hard? Because I introduced a conflict between the word itself and its color. How good your attention is determines actually how fast you resolve that conflict. So the young guys here at the top of their game probably legged it a little better than some of us that are older. What we can show is that when you do this kind of task with people that play a lot of action games, they actually resolve the conflict faster. So clearly, playing those action games doesn't lead to attentional problems. Actually, those action video game players have many other advantages in terms of attention. And one aspect of attention which is also improved for the better is our ability to track objects around in the world. This is something we use all the time. When you're driving, you're keeping track of the cars around you. You're also keeping track of the pedestrian, the running dog, and that's how you can actually be safe driving, right? In the lab, we get people to come to the lab, sit in front of a computer screen, and we give them a little task that I'm going to get you to do again. You're going to see yellow happy faces and a few sad blue faces. These are children in the schoolyard in Geneva during recess, during the winter. Most kids are happy. It's actually recess. But a few kids are sad and blue because they've forgotten their coat. Everybody begins to move around, and your task is to keep track of who had a coat at the beginning and who didn't. So I'm just going to show you an example where there is only one sad kid. It's easy because you can actually track it with your eyes. You can track, and then when it stops and there's a question mark and I ask you, did this kid have a coat or not? Was it yellow initially or blue? I hear a few yellow. Good, so most of you have a brain. I'm now going to ask you to do the task, but now with a little more challenging task. There are going to be 3 of them that are blue. Don't move your eyes. Please don't move your eyes. Keep your eyes fixated and expand, pull your attention. That's the only way you can actually do it. If you move your eyes, you're doomed. Yellow or blue? Good. So your typical normal young adult can have a span of about 3 or 4 objects of attention. That's what we just did. Your action video game player has a span of about 6 to 7 objects of attention, which is what is shown in this video here. That's for you guys, action video game player. They're more challenging, right? Yellow or blue? Blue. We have some people that are serious out there, yeah. Good. So in the same way that we actually see the effects of video games on people's behavior, we can use brain imaging and look at the impact of video game on the brain. And we do find many changes, but the main changes are actually to the brain networks that control attention. So one part is the parietal cortex, which is very well known to control the orientation of attention. The other one is the frontal lobe, which controls how we sustain attention. And another one is the anterior cingulate, which controls how we allocate and regulate attention and resolve conflict. Now, when we do brain imaging, we find that all three of these networks are actually much more efficient in people that play action games. This actually leads me to rather counterintuitive finding in the literature about technology and the brain. You all know about multitasking. You all have been faulty of multitasking. When you're driving and you pick up your cell phone, bad idea, very bad idea. Why? Because as your attention shifts to your cell phone, you are actually losing the capacity to react swiftly to the car braking in front of you, and so you're much more likely to get engaged into a car accident. Now, we can measure that kind of skills in the lab. We obviously don't ask people to drive around and see how many car accidents they have. That would be a little costly proposition. But we design tasks on the computer where we can measure to the millisecond accuracy how good they are at switching from one task to another. When we do that, we actually find that people that play a lot of action games are really, really good. They switch really fast, very swiftly. They pay a very small cost. Now, I'd like you to remember that result and put it in the context of another group of technology users, a group which is actually much revered by society, which are people that engage in multimedia tasking. What is multimedia tasking? It's the fact that most of us, most of our children, are engaged into listening to music at the same time as they're doing search on the web, at the same time as they're chatting on Facebook with their friends. That's a multimedia tasker. There was a first study done by colleagues at Stanford, and that we replicated, that showed that those people that identify as being high multimedia tasker are absolutely abysmal at multitasking. When we measure them in the lab, they're really bad, right? So this kind of results really makes two main points. The first one is that not all media are created equal. You can't compare the effect of multimedia tasking and the effect of playing action games. They have totally different effects on different aspects of cognition, perception, and attention. Even within video games, I'm telling you right now about these action-packed video games. Different video games have a different effect on your brains. So we actually need to step into the lab and really measure what is the effect of each video game. The other lesson is that general wisdom carries no weight. I showed that to you already, like we looked at the fact that despite a lot of screen time, those action gamers have a lot of very good vision, etc. Here, what was really striking is that these undergraduates that actually report engaging in a lot of high multimedia tasking are convinced they aced the test. So you show them their data, you show them they're bad, and they're like, not possible. You know, they have this sort of gut feeling that really they're doing really, really good. That's another argument for why we need to step into the lab and really measure the impact of technology on the brain. Now, in a sense, when we think about the effect of video games on the brain, it's very similar to the effect of wine on health. There are some very poor use of wine. There are some very poor use of video games. But when consumed in reasonable doses and at the right age, wine can be very good for health. There are actually specific molecules that have been identified in red wine as leading to greater life expectancy. So it's the same way, like those action video games have a number of ingredients that are actually really powerful for brain plasticity, learning, attention, vision, etc. And so we need, and we're working on understanding what are those active ingredients so that we can really then leverage them to deliver better games either for education or for rehabilitation of patients. Now, because we're interested in having an impact for education or rehabilitation of patients, we're actually not that interested in how those of you that choose to play video games for many hours on hand perform. I'm much more interested in taking any of you and showing that by forcing you to play an action game, I can actually change your vision for the better. Whether you want to play that action game or not, right? That's a point of rehabilitation or education. Most of the kids don't go to school saying, great, 2 hours of math. So that's really the crux of the research. And to do that, we need to go one more step. The one more step is to do training studies. So let me illustrate that step with a task which is called mental rotation. Mental rotation is a task where I'm going to ask you, and again you're going to do the task, to look at this shape, study it. It's a target shape. And I'm going to present you 4 different shapes. One of these 4 different shapes is actually a rotated version of this shape. I want you to tell me which one. The first one, second one, third one, or fourth one? Okay, I'll help you. Fourth one. One more. Get those brains working, come on. That's our target shape. Third, good. This is hard, right? Like the reason I asked you to do that is because you really feel your brain cringing, right? It doesn't really feel like playing a mindless action video games. Well, what we do in these training studies is people come to the lab, they do tasks like this one. We then force them to play 10 hours of action games. They don't play 10 hours of action game in a row. They do distributed practice, so little shots of 40 minutes, several days over a period of 2 weeks. Then once they're done with their training, they come back a few days later and they're tested again on a similar type of mental rotation task. So this is work from a colleague in Toronto. What they showed is that initially, subjects perform where they're expected to perform given their age. After 2 weeks of training on action video games, they actually perform better. And the improvement is still there 5 months after having done the training. That's really, really important. Why? Because I told you we want to use these games for education or for rehabilitation. We need to have effects that are going to be long-lasting. Now at this point, a number of you are probably wondering, well, what are you waiting for putting on the market a game that would be good for the attention of my grandmother and that she would actually enjoy, or a game that would be great to rehabilitate the vision of my grandson who has amblyopia, for example? Well, we're working on it, but here is a challenge. There are brain scientists like me that are beginning to understand what are the good ingredients in games to promote positive effects. That's what I'm going to call the broccoli side of the equation. There is an entertainment software industry which is extremely deft at coming up with appealing products that you can't resist. That's the chocolate side of the equation. The issue is we need to put the two together, and it's a little bit like with food. Who really wants to eat chocolate-covered broccoli? None of you. And you probably have had that feeling, right? Picking up an education game and sort of feeling, it's not really fun, it's not really engaging. So what we need is really a new brand of chocolate. A brand of chocolate that is irresistible, that you really want to play, but that has all the ingredients, the good ingredients that are extracted from the broccoli that you can't recognize, but are still working on your brains. And we're working on it, but it takes to come and to get together brain scientists, people that work in the entertainment software industry, and publishers. So these are not people that usually meet every day, but it's actually doable, and we are on the right track. I'd like to leave you with that thought, and thank you for your attention.
Okay, very well. Do we have any questions? So you
Yeah.
can
Teacher, what are you? What will you do? What will you do with a broccoli and a chocolate?
I don't know. I would
Eat
I would
it.
probably not eat them. Yes, I would give them to a dog or something. Oh, well, not to a dog because they cannot eat chocolate, right?
No,
I don't know what I would do with both of them together. Yes. So guys, you can take a photo of the questions and we're going to discuss them in first.
Okay, okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Ay.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, as a brain scientist, what is Daphne Baveler, I don't know, interested in? Well, it's like an unknown, well, no. Like, I don't know.
Learning.
Yeah, learning like about the brain.
Yeah, the brain, how the kids or the people act. Teacher, how do you say actua?
Acted.
Acted about the video games in the brain, or the people takes the time playing video games.
Yes, like the effect of video games in the brain. Okay, very well. And what about question number 2? Can you
Okay,
read?
according to common belief, who plays video games most? He talks about the young people, and let me see, and before 13.
Well,
12
I
and
heard
13 people, and 3 age. I'm not sure
But the question is, according to common belief, like according to people, according to my grandma, for example, who plays video games? Kids or adults?
Oh, kids.
Yes.
Yeah, kids.
So, Andre, can you answer number 3? However?
However, what is the average of age of a gamer? Or the average? Well, I saw something that that the little kids, but also the people who have like 33 years old.
So people that
is 33 years old.
People that are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the average age is 33.
Yeah, the older adults. She said.
33.
Yes.
33 and before 13, right?
No, she said the average age is 33. An average is promedio, so yes, that's the average. 33.
Okay, according to the activation statistics, how much had according to the Activision statistics, how much had the Black Ops game been playing a month after it release?
Its release. Oh, let me see. Yes, its release.
It's release.
It's about the 10 hours, teacher. According to how much had game been played.
I heard something about the 60,000 years, but I don't know if
the
it's
age.
about that.
Yes, I heard that, but this is the age, right? Not it the...
No, it's the amount of hours that people have played this game. So Nati, what did you hear?
No, I heard 6,000 years, but I don't know.
Yes, 68,000 years. Yes, or 600 million hours. So 1 month after the game came out, people had already played it for more than 600 million hours worldwide.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Just
but
imagine
I mean,
Fortnite.
we're talking like about like people from all the world, so
Yes, like
kind of
combining. Combining the hours from people all over the world, yes. But still, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I know people that have played like this game, like Call of Duty games or Fortnite for more than 1,000 hours.
Oh, yeah.
600
Yes.
million hours.
600 million.
I saw in the news about were in Chinese or Japan, I don't remember.
In China.
China, they played a lot of time.
Yes. There are people that go to like to internet cafes and they stay there like all the weekend.
And I saw, I don't remember, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, a kid like 4 or 5 years old. He was sleeping, but his hands was like he is talking the control.
And it's like his hands were moving like as if he was holding a control.
Yeah,
a
but
controller.
he was sleeping and his hands was like taking the control.
His hands were moving. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see number 4. Andre, what does?
Number 5, teacher.
5.
Yes, sorry, 5.
What does she mention about playing these kinds of video games for healthy periods of time? But teacher, I'm not pretty sure about that.
Zombies? Is
Yeah,
that teacher?
But analyze the question. What does she mention about playing video games for healthy periods of time? Because we have to analyze the questions before we answer like properly. So nothing.
Teacher, I don't know. She said something like about that, about the vision, but I think that's more on the advantages.
Yes. So in general, playing video games for small periods of time, is it dangerous or not?
Teacher, he
No,
talked.
actually it's healthy.
For healthy periods of time,
It's beneficial, right? If you play for healthy periods of time, it can help you develop different skills, right? Okay. Let's see the next one.
Teacher, but she talked about Sudoku or...
Pero es que eso no está relacionado a la pregunta. Es que, digamos, la pregunta es que si es bueno jugar videojuegos por periodos razonables, digamos. Entonces sí, la pregunta es sobre videojuegos, no sobre otros temas, digamos. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what does media usually project about video games that frightens parents? Teacher, what does that mean?
Scares. Frightens means scares. So for example, what do they say on the news or in newspapers about video games? Like how do reporters and how does media represent video games?
Well, they usually say that these video games are like kind of well, they can like make the kids violent. I don't know.
Exactly. Yes, so they say that they are always talking about the negative parts of video games, that they are violent, that they are not for kids.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess well also that they I don't know why, but I can't remember the words today. Como se envician, like they
become addicted.
Yeah, exactly. They become addicted to the games and yeah, those kind of things.
Yes. Very well. Let's go to number 7. Who can read it?
What positive aspects does she mention about video games?
Let's say aspects.
Aspects.
Very good. So, Andre?
Well, that you will be a multitasking person. You play some action video games, and well, you have a better concentration.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what else? I don't remember more about that.
Okay, that's fine. So not
Okay,
really. Do you remember any other advantage?
Yeah, the one of the vision that
Uh-huh.
your vision gets better.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
And I think that was it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we can go to number 9 now.
How is the brain of a gamer affected?
Mm-hmm. So you can answer that one. What happens inside the brain of a person that plays video games?
Okay, the impact in the brain when the children put attention in how look how look the well she talks about um, about the technology in the brain and if the people has the reasonable time
Reasonable.
reasonable time it reacts good
Uh-huh. It
um,
reacts
it reacts good
health?
or
Well,
Well.
health
Well.
Well, yeah.
I wrote health. Okay, well, and I don't know how to explain, but she talks about they can they can be multitasking if, for example, chatting and see the Facebook or replay attention and increase, but it can increase the abysm.
Increase the what, sorry?
Increase el abismo,
The abysm.
abysm.
What do you mean?
Que puede incrementar la adicción o
El vicio.
Ajá,
Like
abismo, o no sé cómo se dice.
no, I thought you were saying abismo, como de un hueco.
Yeah, I heard that too. I thought that.
No, so you can say like the addiction, right? The addiction.
Teacher, and I think that well, another thing that can happen, or I don't know, is the thing that Viviana mentioned about the kids, like I don't know, dreaming about the games or like moving their hands, like if they were um, doing those kind of things. I don't know if they mentioned it in the video, but I think that is also well something that can happen.
Yes, that happens. That has happened to me. Like I am sleeping, I dream that I'm playing a video game or something. It's super weird.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That usually happens when you do something before going to bed. Like if you're watching a movie before sleeping, you usually dream about that movie. Or if you play a game, you dream about it.
Teacher.
Well, go ahead,
sorry?
go ahead.
Okay, I am a little bored because I don't see TV, I don't play.
Really? What do you do?
I waste my time with my family or seeing news in class, or I am in another class that I get in the Troy University in United States about linking. The topic is linking, so I am trying to approve this time learning
to take advantage of this thing.
In the course of the Troy University and this course too.
Oh, yes, you don't have time to do a lot of watching a lot of TV or anything like that.
Yeah, my free time I make things, for example, paint the house or another things.
Yes, you're more manual. Very well.
Yeah, teacher. Actually, I don't watch like TV that much, or you know, I don't do that a lot, or play video games. I don't know. I have like some games in my phone where like I don't know. I play them like once a week or something like that. So yeah.
Yes, and you, Andre, do you play?
Yeah, teacher, play. I have a Switch, and well, I have my gamer computer too. So I play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
But actually, teacher, related to the ninth question, in the video they mentioned that the people who play video games or action games are good resolving problems or something like that. I heard. Como, I don't know how to say exactly what the
It's
with the
like
sentence.
solving conflicts.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, they're good
Yes.
solving some conflicts. Yeah.
Yes, like in the example with the colors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very well. So, Andre, you can answer the last one. What is the feature of all this investigation? What do they want to create with all this information that they have investigated so far?
Well, I think that they try to give us a point of view that the video games in a good manner are good for people, and they increase some abilities and made the people like more. How can I say more? Sorry, that I don't know how to say that in English.
Like more aware.
Yeah, more aware of the things. Yeah, that surround us.
Of the surroundings.
The surrounding. Yeah.
Yes, and also she mentioned that she would like to start creating video games, right, that are educational.
Yeah.
It's like the idea is that now investigators and scientists could work with real video game creators to make video games that are like really helpful for people and that are fun at the same time. Right?
Yeah, and actually nowadays there is a lot of kind of different video games that teach us the different things, and there are video games that are created for old people, for children, and for middle-aged people. So it's a lot of a variety games.
Yes, exactly. Okay, very well. So let's go back to discuss it together with the rest of the guys.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Recording in progress.
So, Anthony, as a brain scientist, what is that David you're interested in?
Okay, she's interested in how do video games affect the brain of gamer people.
So one more time, she's interested in how?
Does video games? No, do video games? Yeah.
In how video games?
And how video games affect the brain of gamer people.
Yes, very good. And according to common belief, Adri, who plays video games most?
Sorry. According, the adults are the people that plays more video games.
Okay, but that's the reality. But according to common belief, like according to the news and according to
the children's.
That?
The children's are the
most.
The children.
The children are the ones that plays more video games.
The ones that?
Plays video games.
Play
video games.
Okay, that's fine. Let's have Viviana. However, what is the average age of a gamer in reality?
Okay, the age is 33.
Yes, 33 years old. Very good. And Ashley, according to Activision statistics, how much had the Black Ops game been played a month after its release? How many hours do you remember?
10, no.
No, like worldwide, like in around our, like all around the world.
No.
Okay, so it is 600. million hours.
No.
Yes, you were close.
Obviously, teacher. So close.
Yes, so 600 million hours, like around the world, right? Counting everyone.
I thought about a person.
No, because the question is like during the complete month. Yes. Okay, very well. So let's see who's next. Anthony, what does she mention about playing these kinds of video games for healthy periods of time?
She mentioned that it can improve like in their reactions and in their attention.
Yes. Okay. And Natasha, what does media usually project or say about video games that frightens parents?
Okay, usually media usually say that these video games can make their kids like go violent, to make them go violent, and also that these can make them like addicts to video games,
They can make it or make them, sorry?
make them
Help.
I don't know,
Addicted.
Okay. Can make them addicted to video games, and yeah.
Okay, very well. Let's have Andre. What positive aspects does she mention about video games?
Well, the positive aspects are that the people are good solving problems. Their vision, well, they improve their vision, and they improve their multitasking abilities, and they're good solving conflicts.
Very good. And Adri, what are other advantages mentioned? Do you remember any more advantages?
Just that, I don't know, they can get concentrated or improve their concentration.
Okay.
That can increase their creativity.
Okay, very well. And Bibi, how is the brain of a gamer affected when they play video games?
Okay, it affects the children if they...
Bibi, you're muted.
Okay. How is the brain of a gamer affected? Okay, if they let me see, teacher.
Yes, the question is what happens in their brain when they play video games?
If they waste a lot of time, it can be dangerous, but she talks about it can be, it can has benefits if they...
It can?
Has?
Help?
Have?
It can have?
It can have benefits if the result is another. For example, they can be multitasking if they...
So they can be?
Multitasking.
Multitaskers.
If they can chat or chatting and using the Facebook too, because it increased, but if they use a lot of time, it increased the addiction.
Okay, that's fine. And Ashley, what is the future of all this investigation? Well, what is the purpose of this investigation at the end?
I remember that she said that why they don't create a video game that I that the elderly people
Mm-hmm.
also can use it or can use them
Mm-hmm.
and create video games for all the ages. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Yes, like they want to create video games for people with Alzheimer, for example, or for kids, right? For them to learn better. Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, in some schools around the world, they use like video games to educate people. Like I heard that in some countries, I don't know if it was like in Europe, the Netherlands or something like that, they were using Minecraft like
I'm
during
not sure, but
classes.
Minecraft is so boring.
Well, I don't like it either, but some people some people do it, and some people create very amazing things there.
Uh-huh. I think I'm not have that part to be a creative people, a creative people.
A creative person.
A creative person, sorry. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, but yeah, I don't like it either, but I have seen like people's creations and they are very amazing. So I think that's why they use it, right? They can like increase their creativity.
They have that facility.
Mm-hmm, yes.
That's why for me it's so boring.
And what do you play? Do you play video games?
I don't have a console either.
A console. Mm-hmm.
But I love the games that I have to kill.
That you have what, sorry?
I love the games that I have to kill.
Like GTA.
I love that games, that kind of games.
And you, Anthony, do you play video games?
Yeah, I usually play video games mostly at work because here at home I don't have much time. But yeah, at work I test computers that has problems with video games. So and I usually play the games that people mention that they have problem with. And I don't know, I play a lot of genders, I think it is.
Genres.
Yeah, I play like shooters, like normal games like Minecraft, those games like that, FIFA or those ones. And I don't know, I like it. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And do you think it has had benefits in your life? Like, so for example, all the things that she mentioned, do you think they are real in your life? Like, have you seen any skills that you have developed from playing video games?
One of the things that I'm really grateful with the video games is when I was young, I usually played like video games with my phone, but the games doesn't have
The games?
didn't have like translation, so I had to play it in English, and because of that I learned a lot of meanings of words in English.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has a lot of good things.
Yeah, I agree. That helps a lot when you don't have like the translation or the subtitles or anything. Yes, you learn a lot of vocabulary. Usually a lot of people started learning English with video games because like in the 90s or maybe 15 years ago, I mean, we didn't have like translations for the games or anything, so people learned like by playing. Yeah, so that's cool.
I'm going to use that way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should play games with a story, right? And just like if you're only killing people, you're not going to learn anything. You have to look for games with cinematics and
Yeah.
dialogue. Yes, to learn something.
My teacher, my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
never went to an English course or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and he is working in Amazon. He learned English only playing video games and watching movies.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
Lovely.
really amazing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried, but I can't. I don't know. I can't.
Well, it's a long process. Yeah, so for example, in my case, when I do something that I like playing video games or watching movies or shows, what I do is that I watch them only in English with subtitles, right? So for example, if you don't understand a word, you can look it up quickly, or you can investigate it later, right? And you see like all the context and everything. So yes, if you want to learn, well, watching movies or whatever, you should like use subtitles in English. That's a good way of practicing and seeing the vocabulary. Yes.
Yeah, at the beginning of this year, I watched a movie. I watched a series on Netflix that I that sorry, I watched it, and I don't use subtitles in Spanish. I use subtitles in English,
Mm-hmm.
and the voice also. But it was very hard because I was rewinding several
Mm-hmm.
times.
Yes. Yeah, it's a process, but I mean, when you start doing that, you get used to it sooner or later. So yeah, you will not need like Spanish subtitles anymore at some point, because I mean you will be used to it, and even if you don't understand like an exact word, maybe you can understand it by context, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah, it's a process, but yes, it's helpful like in the
The
long
only
term. Mhm.
the only things that it was hard to understand was like como las frases en inglés
Like the
que no tienen
idioms.
something like that, yeah, that
Mhm.
doesn't have transaction in Spanish.
Translation. Yes.
Translation, yeah, translation.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yes, I'm going to take attendance, so you can leave for today. So, well, Adriana Sancho was absent, right? Adriana Arias, present.
Present.
Andre,
Present.
Anthony,
Your teach.
Ashley,
Here.
Justin. Justin didn't come. Karen left very early. Natasha,
Present.
Sebastián, Sofia, and Viviana.
I'm here.
Okay, so guys, I hope you have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, teacher.
See you, teacher. Thank you.
Good
You're
weekend
welcome.
too. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.